Hey guys, welcome back to the MJ Gooner podcast right here for the MJ Gooner Talk weekly wrap. Not quite of a weekly wrap. I did took a little bit of a break. Extensive break right here. I believe by the time I'm uploading this, it will be a Wednesday, which means that I didn't quite upload for the past 10 days. Again, I just needed a extended break that I needed. Really do need a break because right now I'm going back to pretty much uploading, or not just the podcast, but other stuff as well. Trying to do that more regularly, but that's why I decided to take a little bit of a holiday. So, compared to what we talked about last time, the weekly wrap, episode 8, which were pretty much Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber, has been confirmed, and of course Xhaka's leaving or left already, and of course the confirmation of contract extensions of Reece Nelson and Saliba. Of course, even though deals were already confirmed, but we still haven't heard any announcements yet. A lot of Arsenal fans were a little bit impatient. To be fair, I was being a little bit impatient as well because it's been well over 10 days. I think, back then it was well over 10 days before, any movement going on with the deal. Of course, the Jurrien Timber deal, it wasn't quite, I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans weren't quite, how would you say it? Weren't quite, worried about that because in the end, I think that signing was, moving fairly quickly. So it was fine. A lot of people were confident that would be, it will be announced very soon. Of course, they are dropping. A lot of people, or even Jurrien Timber's brother, I think dropped a little bit of a hint of a goodbye party in around Ajax area. So that was pretty much the hint where everything it's pretty much gone through. It's just a matter of announcement for Declan Rice. That one is a very interesting one because everybody thought there are some sort of a, how would you say it? There's some sort of a complication in the deal, even though principle of the fee has been agreed. It's just a matter of, the accountants pretty much. They need to find an agreement to the structure of the payment. That's pretty much it. It's all about the structure. Of course, I did kind of go over that a little bit last time, saying that Arsenal do want to, trying to pay the deal off in a 5-year installment, while David Sullivan, I believe he is the director for West Ham, he wanted the installment 18 months again, which is it's doable for Arsenal, but I'm sure Arsenal is trying to spread the funds a little bit, make sure that they still have enough to make one more signing. And guess what? I believe Jurrien's Timber deal announcement was made last Thursday, and Declan Rice made it on Friday. I mean, both of them has been, those announcement video were just amazing. And of course, I think at one point West Ham were, growing very frustrated with how Arsenal has been dealing with it. I'm sure there's some rumors going around where paperwork weren't, sent, or at that moment it wasn't quite sent yet, or it hasn't been signed, but right now everything is through. We don't really quite have to talk about that anymore. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, the announcement video was just amazing, to be honest. It reminds me of the a short video of announcing our new kit back in 2019-2020 season. It was something like that, but again, the ads, the videos that we made was just, looking amazing in that way, to be honest. So, loving it in any way as possible. Declan Rice wearing that 41 shirt, of course. I thought, I remember in my career mode, I did an Arsenal career mode by myself, and I did, thought he was going to wear number 17, but turns out he's still sticking with his old number. I'm sure that number will be, stick with him throughout his whole career, I'm pretty sure. Jurrien Timber taking number 12, previously worn by William Saliba, who also took a new number 2. And of course, I mean, this is pretty much a very nice tradition of Arsenal fans do. Every time when we make a new signing, they pick a number. Of course, number, it's very, it's very special, to a lot of players, to a lot of fans as well. Sometimes you just recognize that player by that number. And number 29, let's talk about Kai Havertz because, of course, we signed him first. But that number 29 was previously worn by Guendouzi. Before that was Xhaka. Before that, it was Shamak. Oh God, that guy. Who else? I'm sure there are more, but I don't quite remember. Something along the line. I think Ashley Cole did wear number 29 at one point. I might be wrong. And for Declan Rice, I don't remember anybody wearing number 41. Probably one of the youngsters, I believe. It was Jay Thomas, probably one of the youngsters that probably did wear number 41. Maybe somebody else. Number 12, I mean, again, we have quite a lot of number 12 players back then. Notably, of course, we had, William Saliba wear for one season. Before that, it was... it was Willian. Oh my God, I totally almost forgot about that guy. Willian wore that. Lynch Steiner wearing that for a year. And then you have Giroud wearing it for quite a long time. And then you have Carlos Vela. Before it was Lauren. Yeah, that was about it, right? I'm sure I might just left somebody in there, but that's pretty much it. What else? Okay, so yeah, I have a few agendas today, so that was one of them. Another one, it's the game against Nurnberg. Again, Arsenal drew 1-1. It was not the best game. I'm sure last time we did 1-5-3, 5-2, something along that scoreline. Gabriel Jesus scoring 2, and El Neni scoring an absolute beauty back then. But this game was, of course, different setting. New players getting into youngsters, or players just coming back from international duty or holiday, slowly adapting to Arsenal again against Nuremberg. Again, I believe they're the third or fourth division in the German league. And the first half was good, some great football as well. Notably, of course, Saka scoring a beautiful goal. I believe he smashed that one with his left foot in between the legs of one of the defenders and smashed it to the bottom left corner. That was the only goal that we scored. And other than that, we kept possession really well. I mean, of course, you can see that the way how we play. I mean, Granit Xhaka left, so nobody's quite playing at the left 8. But I read somewhere Arsenal trying to deploy two roaming 8s. So pretty much it's a pivoting role. Not quite of a pivoting role, but it's pretty much splitting work between Odegaard and the left 8. So, at least we have 2 8 in that position. And of course, we still playing Thomas Partey as a central defensive midfielder. Trossard was, playing well. I think he is trying to adapt to that role. But of course, at times when I was watching the game, especially in the first half, we got exposed quite a bit once in a while with some of the counter-attack from Nurnberg. But another noticeable performance in that game was actually Kivior. I mean, he's playing as a left back, but he actually did drop in the middle at one point. And Gabriel playing as a left back at times, or even dropping in deep as a left center back. It's interesting to see, but Kivior definitely did play that role very well. He can actually slot into that central defensive midfielder area, distributing the ball, distributing the play very well. Thomas Partey has a shaky game, but again, it's just a preseason. Second half, it's where all the movement, changes. A lot of interesting things that we see, not necessarily the good ones nor the bad ones as well. It's a mix in between. Again, it's a team full of youngsters, reserve players. You just want to see how they perform, right? Fabio Vieira actually coming on for Odegaard. A lot of people are slandering Vieira. Honestly, personally, I didn't think he was that bad that day. You just need to be a little bit more brave. That's it. But of course, the notable performance in the second half was Inieri and also Lewis Skelly. Skelly? I think it was Skelly. Both youngsters, number 63 and 59. Both of them looks very, very sharp. I mean, the fact that both of them are 16-year-old playing the first team football like that, they look really, really good. Of course, both of them did sign a scholarship contract, some sort of contract or just a scholarship, keeping them both here until they turn 17 or their contract turns into professional. But both of them play very well. Of course, they are quite a lot of clips of Inieri. There's one play where the ball was in the air, had a great touch, and then he spins, and the other two Nurnberg players just kind of went lost at that point. That was beautiful. And of course, Skelly in the end produced a great pass from him to Balogun, but who unfortunately missed that goal as well, I believe. We have two important chances. I think one of them, it was Balogun hitting the post, or Jesus hitting the post, and Balogun with the last minute, sitter in the end. It was a little bit tough, but the fact that I know a lot of Arsenal fans might not be happy, the fact that he missed. But the fact that he is that type of player, you can see he is very strong. He can actually skip past you just like that with one single run. That twist and turn. And of course, good through ball by Lewis Skelly. And Balogun again. If Arsenal have more players making those runs in the box, I think Balogun just need to practice a little bit of his finishing, then he will be lethal. So that was pretty much it for that game, to be honest. I mean, we're not expecting too much. I'm not expecting to win, even though we did start off the preseason with a win against Nurnberg, but it's different this time, which is fine because I'm recording this on a Wednesday, July 19th. Today, I think in 3 hours, Arsenal will be playing against MLS. Here, I am in the I don't know where MLS All-Star taking place, but all I know is that here I get to watch them, but I just need to figure something out with the Apple TV. I'm sure they're free sign up or something like that for 1 month. I'm actually going to do that. Second thing, of course, the US tour. Again, looking at the list, noticeable absentee is pretty much Smith Rowe and Partey, but both of them are expected to join. And of course, there's speculation going on that there. Partey might be leaving to Saudi Arabia, but right now, this morning, when I saw the news, I think he is, he's absolutely staying unless there's a big money offer coming in for him. But personal term were already agreed, if that to my understanding. So yeah, and then in the list we have, Cedric's not making the squad, tactical move, which is understandable. And who else? Reece Nelson, broken toe, broken nail, something like that, stay behind. I'm not quite sure about this one, to be honest. I was a little bit fearful that it might be a tactical decision, but it might not be. Apparently, Reece is just staying for rehab, that kind of stuff. But even if you have broken toe, broken nail, I'm sure you can still go there. I mean, you can just slot one more player in there for the morale booster, something like that. But I'm a little bit surprised Reece is not even traveling with the squad despite his injury. Nicolas Pepe, rumors going around where he is 100% leaving. Arsenal might be terminating his contract. At this point, it's not my money, because I know there's some sort of a compensation fee that you have to pay for Pepe to leave. But yeah, but for Pepe, honestly, just feel bad for him in the end. Of course, we cannot control the price that we pay for him, but the fact that a lot of people put too much pressure on him because of the price tag was a little bit unfair. So, but Pepe is leaving, but I think this morning I read something saying that the deal between Pepe and a Saudi Arabian club they collapse. So apparently that deal's not going to happen. Honestly, if Saudi Arabia keep picking players, European players like that, why not just pick Cedric? Why not pick Pepe? Why not pick some of the deadwoods that we have in the squad? It's much easier in that way. God. And yesterday there was a what else? Actually, Rob Holding, apparently we received a bid from him, from a Turkish club. I forgot which club it was. 2.5 million. I mean, come on. I mean, Arsenal fans, listen to me, but there's no way Arsene Wenger back then signed him for 2 million. And after 5 years, he gained so much experience, won an FA Cup with us. Is that FA Cup? Won 2 FA Cup with us, pretty much so. Being a very important part of the squad in the last few years. But of course, the style we're playing, it's not working out. it's fine, but come on, like Rob Holding at least deserve 7 million, 8 million, even 10 million for him. It was kind of a shamble. It was a laughable bid, laughable offer. Thank God Arsenal did not accept that, because 2.5 million. So you're telling me that all these years, the way how Rob Holding has grown as a person, as a footballer, that's 500k. I mean, you just can't do that. You just can't make that shit up. But thank God we didn't accept the bid. Of course, we still want him to go. I mean, it's a little bit of a surplus right now. I mean, looking at the back line for Arsenal, Rob Holding, it's pretty much seen as the 5th choice, or even 6th choice at the moment. I mean, there's no place for him, to be honest. So, but back four is quite interesting right now. I mean, as a right back, I'm sure Jurgen Timber might start ahead of Ben White, and then you have Tomiyasu in that area as well. And in the middle, just very eventful again. Kivior, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Ben White, and even Jurgen Timber can play there. And the fact that Austin Trusty, coming back, and honestly, that game against Nurnberg, I don't think he played very bad, to be honest. I think he looked pretty decent, to be honest. But I'm sure the fact that picking him to the U.S. tour is just trying to raise his stock level a little bit higher, make sure that we are able to sell him for a profit at least. Austin Trusty and also Rob Holding. I mean, to be honest, if you want me to pick one, I might probably just pick Austin Trusty at the moment. So, well, when I name that many defenders, I can honestly tell you, Rob Holding is the 7th choice there. Just there you have it, 7th choice. Like, can you imagine that 7th choice as a defender at Arsenal? It's impossible unless you cut down all the wages. He's fine with the role that he's playing, but he's 27-year-old. You want him to move on. I'm sure he wants to move on as well. So left back, we have Kieran Tierney. I mean, Zinchenko's going to start ahead of him if he's okay. And we saw Kivior kind of playing there in the last game of the season, and also a little bit of a Nurnberg game, and also Tomiyasu can play there again. 4 different options for you, as the left back area. And on the right side, we have 3 choices right there. So looking pretty good, to be honest. The depth is looking amazing. And one more thing I want to talk about, it's the MLS All-Star Skill Challenge, that type of shenanigans. I mean, I keep seeing fail comps of Kai Havertz with the volley, and also there's some sort of a point challenge. Apparently the volley and finish, I think that game he failed to score a single goal. Am I worried? Little bit. When we first signed him, I wasn't quite worried, but I think the fact that that challenge kind of showed off a little bit of how he is, to be honest. But I'm sure, or at least I hope, that it's not going to affect him further on or later on in his career. Hopefully not. But tonight we have a game against MLS All-Star. Hopefully they don't play dirty. We need to keep our players fit, because I think next week we're playing against United, and then you have Barcelona, and then we have an Emirates Cup. When we have a Community Shield, and after Community Shield on the 12th, which is less than 1 month away, it's the opening of the Premier League, and I just can't wait to watch that. And also, one more thing, the away kit was released yesterday. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was so ugly. I'm so sorry. I don't know who was behind the whole design, but whoever agreed to that design has to go. He or she has to go, or they have to go. It looks horrible. Like, I don't know what it reminds me of, but right now it reminds me of the highlighter that I use for school. That type of yellow highlighter. And I'm looking at that pretty much. And also there's some lines drawing, curvy lines. Not quite sure about that, to be honest. And how can you have an amazing, beautiful black kit from last season to a kit like that? I mean, I'm so sorry. You just can't. I mean, you just can't make that up. I mean, who was going to buy it? I'm sure nobody is going to buy it. I'm sure there are no Arsenal fans out there, or I don't think there's 1 million sales or 2 million sales of that. Definitely not. But when I look at other kits from other football clubs, they look much better than Arsenal. I'm telling you, they look much better than Arsenal. And the green kit or the third kit, I hope that one's pretty much our main second kit instead of using that one. To be honest, I just don't see Arsenal wearing that kit that often. Even last year, we have a kit with a pink top and also navy blue, dark blue bottom. Honestly, I love that one, but it's a shame Arsenal wore that for two games. That's it, because honestly, I love that kit very much. But well, who am I to say? I mean, I'm not honestly some concept kit that Arsenal that some fans made it up. That those concept kits were amazing. I saw one black, yellow maroon color and some gold stripes. That one was beautiful. I saw it somewhere, but you guys probably know which one I'm talking about if you guys are Arsenal fan. But there you go, guys. There's pretty much my shenanigan of the weekly wrap. Sorry for the late uploads, regardless. But, a regular upload will be back on Sunday. So thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoy this. Like this and subscribe to my channel. Or do all the good stuff with wherever you guys are listening from. And I'll see you guys in a bit.